start. And on the count of 3, we're gonna do this. 1, 2, 3.
When I was really little, I had a dream like at night about magic, and so I woke up, I told my dad about it, and he had a card magic book. So he gave that to me, but I was maybe 10, so it was a little too complicated. And so we ended up at one of the toy stores and got a box set of magic, you know, with all those tricks that toy sets of magic have. And so I learned those, and within a year, my dad heard about magic camp on breakfast television. It was called Sorcerer's Safari Magic Camp. I like to perform close-up magic, which consists generally of smaller groups. And I also do what I call stand-up magic, or some people call it parlor magic. It can be done for larger groups, but it's not big stage illusions like sawing a woman in half. I use a lot of volunteers in my magic. I really like magic happening in their hands. They just haven't seen a magician in real life. There's so much online, so many videos. Obviously, most people have heard of David Blaine. They've maybe seen a special. But in person, I mean, I always ask people, have you ever seen a close-up magician? And I get a lot of no, or at least not this close. I was really fortunate because although I went to school on the East Coast, my magic community was always here in Ontario. This is where Magic Camp was, up in Halliburton. And so I knew the community very well. And I was also unique in being a woman magician. There were very, very few, if any.
In the same direction, turn yours around a little. Exactly. Now it's time for the magic. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And lift up your 2. And we should be facing.
It took me a long time to see myself as a trailblazer in a field. So I didn't spend a lot of time thinking about that. It was more so, and especially when I first started in magic, when I was first going to camp the first few years, I didn't even know that there weren't many female magicians until people told me. More so than not being included, I think some females, myself included, would have experiences of almost having too much attention put on them. It can just be a lot. You know, when you go to a magic club meeting and you're the only female, and then they all decide to use you as their assistant for their magic trick. And then many of them come up to you after the meeting and, you know, just, it's well-intentioned generally, but it can be a lot, especially if you're young.
So why aren't there more women in magic?
I'd produced a video on why aren't there more women magicians. And so I just thought it is the same, that's a way for me to communicate something that I think more people will appreciate and connect to than just a basic magic trick, because they can find that if they want it, but they can't find what I did. You know, I'm the only person who did that.